Aries, and welcome back for your monthly drag. Here we are in March already. So hopefully, I hope things have changed just a little bit for you from our last reading. I know things were going a little intense, and we were just trying to be like Elsa and let go. But let's see if what we've got this month, Aries, and let's see where we're standing at, my friends. All right, so in our spiritual focus, we have Two of Wands, which to me brings you at the highlight and at the focal point of finally making that decision to take affirmative action, Aries. So I feel like in the past you have been doing a lot of reflecting, a lot of giving, and a lot of doing. And just kind of, I think, just making amends. I see just a few of you doing here, or were doing here rather. So here with Two of Wands, which is spiritual focus, I think now this is you kind of like taking initiative, finally, Aries, and doing what you do best and actually being able to take action. I think that this past month, like I said, you've been doing a lot of reflecting and a lot of thinking, and I think that you have been pensive enough. I think you've been a little bit, I think you've spent enough time in the little hermit mode, so to speak. So again, I do see you here focusing spiritually a lot and just kind of getting everything going, Aries. Whatever it is that you've been feeling passionate about, or what's been on your mind, what's been on your heart, what you've been trying to do, what you've been trying to accomplish, I think that now you've come to the forefront of finally getting down to it and taking that initiative and finally going through with it. So just keep going here. So in your worldly focus, Aries, I see you trying to balance your emotional life with all of this. So I'm not entirely sure if maybe this new endeavor that you guys are pursuing this month or deciding to pursue this month may require you taking a little bit of time away from maybe a significant other, or from friends, or from just people who that are really involved in your close circle. But I do feel you having difficulty just a little bit, or at least trying to do your best to to balance out the dynamics of what you're passionate about and what you're trying to make happen here, as well as going along with everything that's happening inside of your emotional sector. So be mindful of that, Aries, and try not to put too much focus or too much emphasis on what it is that you're trying to do, to the point where you're allowing yourself to become blinded to those around you and those closest to you. I know that, Aries, you're so goal orientated, and I know that your goals are important for you, but just kind of try to take some time and make sure that you're balancing everything out, and don't leave anybody behind. Your monthly lesson is Queen of Wands, and I mean, you are starting off with this fiery energy, which is very befitting for you. And for you personally, Aries, I feel like this is now you taking in responsibility, and you've now come into the culmination, I think, of all of the lessons that you've learned in this past month that have happened already. I feel like you have now decided to take and actually maybe this could even be the decision that you've made here. I'm sorry, Paul. The decision that you've made here, Aries, with Two of Wands, is to finally take responsibility for your part and for your role in everything, Aries. I think that this is a time for you where you're having a lot of really hard aha self-realization moments, and I really hope that you guys keep up and continue with that. I mean, I know sometimes you guys can get a little bit lost in the being right, and I love you guys, but I mean, you guys kind of have this thing where you always need to be right. So I feel like here with the Queen of Wands, this is you kind of being the opposite and just kind of taking everything into consideration. Again, remember, Four of Cups is really learning to balance. So I feel if you learn to balance what it is that you're trying to do with those closest around you and everything, and your significant other or friends, again, you're coming here into this Queen of Wands energy very much here. So your monthly lesson is to learn how to become this. It's how to balance these things out and how to pretty much be in charge of your own kingdom, Aries, effectively, not focusing or concentrating too much on one thing over the other. Now, negatively influencing you is the Knight of Swords. So for me personally, I feel like there's someone not being very honest with you just in your kind of close circle of friends possibly here, or maybe there's information that you're getting relayed that you're not entirely sure about, which could be keeping you from making the decision that you need to here with Two of Wands. So I just feel like here with Knight of Swords, you're either not being given all of the information that you are required, or someone is just really not being completely honest with you. This could be another air sign like Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. But it's just hard to say, but I do feel like there's just a little bit of dishonesty going around, or at least not clear communication, which is ironic considering that Mercury has just gone retrograde as we're filming this video. So it's not unlikely that you're not receiving correct information this month, or everything that you're learning this month is not exactly as it's being told to you. It's almost like, think of a telephone game, Aries. So be very, very careful with the information that's being told, and any decisions that you might possibly be trying to make here. Cross-reference everything, and I would say just hold off on making any major judgment calls, at least when as far as this department is concerned here. Now, what's positively influencing you here is Seven of Rings, which to me tells me that you are feeling pretty financially stable this month, I think, Aries, and I think you've kind of got everything together as far as that concerned. I feel like you've been steadily making a lot of progress and steadily just kind of making your way towards this goal that you seem to be working towards, and finally are having the initiative to go ahead and work towards, minus the possible dishonesty here, but that's neither here nor there. So positively influencing you again is, I think, just you seem to have everything together here with Seven of Rings, and you're steadily working towards your progress, and better yet, you're reaping the benefits of all of that hard work, Aries. So it's not like you're working and you're not really getting anything back. So although things are slow moving for you, and I feel like just telling you, patience is a major thing here, just with any Pentacles cards. And I know that you're a fire sign, and you're very rapid, and you just want everything the way you want it and when you want it, more than sooner rather than later, preferably, if it was up to you guys all the time. So Seven of Rings is telling me that whatever it is that you're working for here, whatever it is that you're working towards here, it's gonna take some time, and you're steadily making your progress towards it, which is fantastic. And make sure to stay on task. And I know it's taking a little bit longer than maybe you'd hope for, but do not lose hope, Aries, and just kind of keep moving forward and doing your thing. So a word of advice is, again, Eight of Rings. There's the promise here, I think, here, and this is why I love this card. And Eight of Rings is just this two people, almost say it's not two people, it's a hand making this sign of a promise. So I think that there's the assurance here that if you continue giving your due diligence and you continue patiently working towards your goal here, Aries, and remember, keeping in mind to keep everything in balance, because this is the key here. Don't leave people behind the dust. Some people move a little bit more slowly, and you need to be accepting of that and be aware of that. So again, Eight of Rings is telling me, look, at the end of the day, you are going to reap the benefits of everything that you're working towards. It's going to take some time, but I promise you, Aries, just be a little bit more patient with it, and I will promise you are really going to start to reap everything back, and you're going to be glad that you did all of that. So lastly, what we're going to do here is we're going to give one channeled message for you, Aries, and we're going to see what messages come through. What does Aries need to know this month? Six of Wands. Whatever it is that you're fighting for, Aries, I just feel like telling you it is absolutely worth fighting for, and you've come from this point in Five of Rods. So I feel like there is maybe a job position, even because I'm getting Pentacles a lot here. So I think maybe for some of you Arians out there, you may be even have been struggling to get a job, and the competition has clearly been high, because you have Six of Wands, which tells me right before that, so in your recent past, there was either fierce competition or some kind of tension concerning a goal around yours, which tells me that, again, it's not easy for you to get what it is that you've got your eyes on, but that never changes your mind, Aries. You still got your eyes set on it anyway, and you're probably going to go and do it anyway. So I feel like with Six of Wands, just really telling you, although things have been difficult, and it's been definitely a challenge here with you, persist and continue and go ahead, because you've got this, Aries. Six of Wands, you're making your way there. The energy is moving forward, and I really feel that what you're setting your mind to here with this Two of Wands, you've got it in the bag. What you have to be careful about, though, is, once again, I can't emphasize this enough, be mindful of the feelings of those close to you in your life and how they feel about this. So if you're not spending enough time, or if you're just too concerned with work, because if you're pulling these coins cards, I feel like this could be very work orientated for you, Aries. Maybe you guys are working on getting a promotion or another job entirely, or moving up into management. Whatever that is, I know is requiring a lot of focus and dedication from you, but again, try to maintain those relationships that matter most to you, because at the end of the day, your job is not going to provide for you that emotional comfort that comes from others. So that being said, Aries, I will end your reading on that note, and I do hope that that was bringing any clarity for you, and I will see you next month.